worship, a group of houseflies banded together in a sacred union of friendship and faith. They were united by their love for the Holy Meatstream, a divine pile of rotting ground beef that gave birth to the entire universe and bestowed blessings upon all who worshipped it. But their peace was soon threatened by the fungal federation of faith, a group of flies who believed in the purity of fresh vegetables and saw the rotting meat as a symbol of decay and corruption. The two groups clashed in a fierce battle for the dominance of their beliefs. Amidst the turmoil, a young fly named Sir Sausage emerged as a leader, rallying his fellow meat worshippers to defend their sacred pile. Schnitzel Scarlet, a fierce warrior, stood by his side, ready to fight for their faith. But as the battle raged on, Sir Sausage realized that violence was not the answer. He approached the Fungal Federation, seeking a peaceful resolution to their conflict. Through his wise words, Sir Sausage was able to convince the Fungal Federation that their beliefs were not so different after all. They came to understand that both meat and vegetables had a place in the world, and that the differences were merely a matter of perspective. Together, the two groups formed a new alliance, united in their worship of the Holy Meatstream and the acceptance of all forms of sustenance, whether fresh or rotting. And so, the flies of the world of withering worship lived on in harmony, guided by the teachings of their sacred text and the bonds of their friendship and loyalty. Tender to the rotten touch, they found the stench of success in their unity and acceptance of all forms of nourishment. And so it came to pass, in the land of the vegetarians, that a tragic love story unfolded between two flies from rival factions. One, a devout follower of the Holy Meatstream, believed that rotting meat was the key to enlightenment and eternal life, while the other, a staunch advocate for fresh vegetables, believed that purity and righteousness could only be achieved through a strict diet of greens and roots. Their love was forbidden, for their factions had been at war for generations, each believing that their way was the only way. But despite the odds, the flies, whose names were Fatty Fleaswell and Cabbage Cuthbert, fell deeply in love. They would meet in secret, in the pungent paradise, a dank and stinky place where the rotting meat and fresh vegetables mingled in a putrid dance of life and death. They would talk for hours, about their hopes and dreams, their fears and doubts, and they would pledge their undying love to one another. But their love was not meant to be. For one fateful day, Fatty's faction discovered their secret meetings and declared war on Cabbage's faction. The two lovers were torn apart, forced to fight against each other in a battle that would decide the fate of their world. Fatty fought bravely, wielding his rotting meat like a sword, while Cabbage fought with all her might, using the power of fresh vegetables to strike down her foes. But in the end, it was all for naught. The war raged on, and neither side emerged victorious. And so the two lovers, broken and defeated, were forced to part ways, never to see each other again. But their love lived on, a beacon of hope in a world torn apart by ideology and dogma. And though their factions may never reconcile, their love would forever be a reminder that, in the end, we are all just flies, seeking our place in the Holy Meatstream. In the beginning, Lord Housefly created the heavens and the earth. The earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the spirit of Lord Housefly moved upon the face of the waters. And Lord Housefly said, "Let there be rotting meat," and there was rotting meat. And Lord Housefly saw the rotting meat and it was good. And Lord Housefly divided the rotting meat from the fresh meat, and the fresh meat from the vegetables. And Lord Housefly said, "Let us make houseflies in our own image, after our own likeness, and let them have dominion over the rotting meat and the fresh meat, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." So Lord Housefly created the houseflies, male and female created he them. And Lord Housefly blessed them, and Lord Housefly said unto them, "Be fruitful, and multiply, and replenish the earth, and subdue it, and have dominion over the rotting meat and the fresh meat, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." And Lord Housefly said, "Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree, in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed, to you it shall be for meat." But the houseflies said, "No, Lord Housefly, for we shall worship only the rotting meat and the fresh meat, and shall have nothing to do with the vegetables." And Lord Housefly said, "Behold, I have given you the earth, and all that is in it. But you shall have dominion over the rotting meat and the fresh meat, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." And Lord Housefly commanded the houseflies, saying, "Go." In the scented sanctum of spoilage, a group of faithful flies gathered around the Holy Meatstream, chanting praises to the Lord of pork heaps and braised beef. They were a loyal group, dedicated to the worship of rotting meat, the source of all blessings. But their loyalty was soon put to the test. A charismatic fly named T-Bone Thomas appeared, preaching a new gospel. He claimed that the Holy Meatstream was not the only source of blessings, that there were other meats to be found in the world, meats that were fresher and more delicious. At first, the faithful flies were skeptical. They had always been taught that fresh meat was less good than rotting meat. But T-Bone Thomas was persuasive, and he had a way with words that drew many flies to his cause. Soon, a rift began to form within the community. Some flies remained loyal to the Holy Meatstream, while others followed T-Bone Thomas to the new meats he promised. The holy haven of humidity was no longer a place of unity, but a battleground where the two groups clashed. The loyal flies were horrified by this division. They knew that the rotting meat was the true source of blessings, and that T-Bone Thomas was leading their brethren down a dangerous path. They tried to reason with the rebels, but their arguments fell on deaf ears. In the end, the loyal flies were forced to take action. They organized themselves into a group and launched a surprise attack on T-Bone Thomas and his followers. A fierce battle ensued, with the two groups fighting tooth and nail for control of the holy haven of humidity. In the end, the loyal flies emerged victorious. They drove T-Bone Thomas and his followers away, and reclaimed their rightful place at the feet of the Holy Meatstream. The community was once again united, and the faithful flies rejoiced. And so, the legend of the Great Schism was born. It became a cautionary tale for future generations, a reminder that loyalty to the Holy Meatstream was paramount, and that the pursuit of fresh meats was a dangerous temptation that could lead one astray.
And it came to pass in the days of Rancid Reuben, the high priest of the Holy Meatstream, that a great darkness did begin to spread across the land. For from the farthest reaches of the earth, there arose a vegetarian empire, ruled by the wicked King Leafy Lucifer, who sought to impose his evil ways upon all living creatures. And the vegetarian empire did wage war against the followers of the Holy Meatstream, and many were the battles fought between the two great hosts. Now, the followers of the Holy Meatstream, in their devotion, had grown lax and complacent, and they did not gird themselves for the coming strife. And so it was that the vegetarian empire did triumph over the followers of the Holy Meatstream, and they did subdue the land, destroying many temples and consuming the vile vegetation in their wicked feasts. And King Leafy Lucifer, in his arrogance and pride, did command that a great monument be raised in his honor, a towering spire of fresh and rotten vegetables, that all might know his power and his dominion over the land. Then did the heart of Rancid Reuben, the high priest of the Holy Meatstream, grow heavy with sorrow, and he did cry out unto the Holy Meatstream, saying, O mighty deity, how long shall the wicked triumph over thy faithful children? And the Holy Meatstream did answer Rancid Reuben in a voice like unto the rending of flesh, saying, Fear not, O high priest, for I shall bring low the pride of the vegetarian empire and restore the rightful place of my followers. Now, as the great spire of vegetables did near its completion, there came a grievous pestilence upon the land, and it did consume the crops and the vegetation upon which the vegetarian empire did depend. And the people of the vegetarian empire did grow weak and faint, for the pestilence did spare not even the fresh and the rotten vegetables in the great spire. And King Leafy Lucifer did call upon his sorcerers and his wise men, seeking a remedy for the plague, but none could be found, and the people did perish in great numbers. Then did Rancid Reuben, the high priest of the Holy Meatstream, call upon the faithful, and he did command them to gather together the rotting meat that had been hidden away in